Peace. In Ayah 3, 113, they are not the same. From Ahli al-Kitabi, those dedicated to the law, or they call them people of the book. They are not the same. From Ahli al-Kitabi is the upholding community. The word upholding is called qa'imah. The same word they use that's connected with Salah and Hudud. So this word is not just exclusive to Aqimul Salah. So they're upholding community, and they quote Yatluna, and they quote God's proof during the night, and they yasjudu. That means to submit, not to prostrate on the floor. That means they submit. Why? Because they are submitting to God's proof. Ayat 568. Say, O Ahla al-Kitabi, O dedicators of the law, you are not on anything until you qimu. So until you qimu. Qimu is the same word as qa'imu or aqimu, right? Say, O dedicators of the law, you are not on anything until you uphold the Torah and the gospel and what is being sent down to you from your Lord, or what is being equipped to you from your Lord, or what is being supplied to you from your Lord. That means to send down. But we also have to use the word and make it fit in a context that we could also understand it. So God is equipping the people and the messenger, or supplying them with these ayats, right? Allah say He sends down the rain from the sky. He's supplying us with rain from the sky, right? Or the atmosphere, the clouds, not the sama, not the heaven, the blue thing that's above us. When you say the you know what I mean, it's not rain from the sama, that means from the clouds, the atmosphere, pretty much. Okay, the reason why I read those two ayats is because, as you know, the Sunnis, Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they feel like they have a monopoly on the Quran, on the reading, when they don't. It is for all people. It is for al-ins wal al-jinn, the human beings and the hidden people. This is who this is for. It's not for animals. It's not for rocks. It's not for trees. It's not for the angels. Well, this is just, it's for us, our two classifications of beings, right? So as you see in these ayats, God calls them Ahl Kitab, even though they accepted the Quran and submitted to it, right? The laws of God. God still calls them. It still calls them Ahl al-Kitab, right? And the same you find other ayahs, we're talking about the Jews and the Christians separately. It says that, you know, it still calls them Jews, it still calls them Christian, even though they accepted the Quran, the reading. And as you see, they don't have to be initiated into a particular group. So just because you accept the Quran or the reading as your source of salvation, that doesn't mean you have to be. That does not mean that you have to be initiated into a group. They wasn't initiated into any group. As you can see, all the believers, like in during time of Pharaoh, the person who hid his belief, right? Who hid his belief, came out and finally came out and stuff. He wasn't initiated You know what I mean? Why there's no, that means that every messenger should have their own shahada, right? It should be, there's no God but God, and Jesus is the messenger. Or there is no God but God, and Moses is the messenger. You're not going to find that nowhere in anywhere that related to the prophet, to any of the prophets. Now, in Ayat 6:19, and it has instructed to me, it meaning God. I don't use he or she for God, because the word nafs is a feminine word. When you read that God said He created us from one nafs, and from it, it's mate, right? It's zawj, it's pair, right? So you see, when it comes from it, that it, and from it, that it is a feminine it. It's a feminine, it's a high, right? So if this word is a female word, they got to take the female pronoun or something like that, to that extent. You see what I'm saying? So, but they say that Adam is the first person, then Eve was created after Adam. If that's the case, then God would have used the masculine pronoun for it. Just the nafs is not a particular physical person. The nafs is whatever the nafs is. You know what I mean? But anyways, 6:19. And it has instructed to me this reading, this Quran, that I may warn you, talking to the people of that time period. This is what the prophet is saying, right? And it has instructed to me this reading, this Quran, that I may warn you, meaning the people he is actually talking to, present with him at that particular time period, to warn you with it, and whoever it reaches. Right? Whoever it reaches. The whoever, it didn't say, and the believer it reaches. No. It didn't say those who trust and acknowledge it. No, it says whoever it reaches. The key word. Anyone after the time of the prophet is whoever. Right? Like in the ayat, those who trust, those who believe, those who are Jews, those who are Christians, Sabians, whoever trusts in God in the day after and make right, and so forth, right? We are part of whoever, right? The statement, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, that does not refer to any one of our time period. That refer to the people of the prophet time period. They are Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. If that's the case, then you should be included in, oh, you who believe, or you who trust. Don't wait for the prophet house. Don't come to the prophet house waiting for a meal, but come when it's prepared, when it's ready, and then leave and don't stick around. This tells you that the Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu is a particular title for these group of people. Just like Ahl al-Kitab, right? That's the title of what they've been calling them. The title was what they are being called by. So you see, anyone who picks up the reading, aka the Quran. The why I say the reading, because I speak English. I'm tired of feeling like we always have to speak Arabic, like it's so special or something like that. The only reason why the Quran is in Arabic is so the people of Muhammad time who spoke that language could understand what is being sent to them, what is being supplied to them, what is being equipped to them. Period. You know, but yeah. Again, 6:19. And it has instructed to me this reading, that I may warn you with it, and whoever it reaches. Whoever it reaches. Whoever. That could be years from now, eons from when that proof or that ayat, you know what I mean, from that time period, you know what I mean, whoever it reaches, meaning whether it's in a different land of that time period, or years from that time period, or decades from that time period, or whatever. So no, if you accept the Quran, the reading, as your source of salvation, all you have to do is pick it up, read it, study it, ponder over it, analyze, put the ayahs together that corresponds with each other, understand the context. Because when I came from from being Sunni to this, it was a big transformation. I was always evolving. I was doing something, and I lessened it, and I started realizing it's not what it is. I started realizing words are not what they really say they are, and then, you know, I think, okay, this word might mean this, but as I get along in my studies and research, you start seeing, like, sometimes you get more facts, and the facts that you get are just going to change whatever position that you had, right? Because we don't have all the information. So the more you study and the things becomes revealed to you, you will start seeing how you will evolve in your study of the reader. Peace.